everybody. We are so excited that you are joining us. Happy Thursday evening. We are super, super excited for this event that we have planned, and we are just going to have so much fun tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. So first of all, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who is tuning in, whether you just decided that you want to go on a shopping spree, you want to try to win some of the gifts and the drawings that we're doing, or whether you're just supporting a friend or a consultant, or maybe you're really kind of like, I wonder what that Mary Kay thing is all about. Whatever the reason is, we are happy you're here. Make sure that you use the chat feature so that you can ask questions anytime that you want, and stay all the way to the end so that if your name gets called, you'll know right away.
Yes, I love it. And, I think we should just dive in because, we want to make this fun and quick. And I'm just so excited that we're all here because we are friends, and we are also have known each other in Mary Kay quite a few years, you guys. And we also represent different decades of life. I don't need to go into what decade I represent, but it's an older decade. So I was just thinking to myself, whoever would have guessed that we'd be doing this Mary Kay business, right? I mean, none of us were, nobody wakes up and thinks that's going to be their life and their job. So I just thought it'd be fun to talk about, first of all, like, where were you when Mary Kay found you, and we can all share that. And then just what was one thing that attracted you to the business? So Sonia, you go ahead and start, because I remember you back in the day. Oh, you're muted. I'm so sorry.
Oh, there we go. Technology. So we've come a long way since I started. Wow. It was 12 years ago. Oh my goodness. I was working probably about 60 plus hours per week. I was a call center manager, very, very stressful job, I must admit. And I definitely did not have enough time in my schedule to work part-time at all. But I really wanted a discount on the products. So that was really, really important to me. Yep. And having no monthly sales quotas, making my own schedule, all of that sounded like something that I could actually handle. So that's where I was when Mary Kay found me.
I love it. I was super similar because I was excited about the discounts and the products myself as well. It's actually been 10 years for me, and I was in college, and I was also very busy, and I was working 2 part-time jobs, and really was not in a season of my life that I was looking for anything extra, but fell in love with the products. But more importantly, when I heard about Mary Kay and learned more about the company, I realized that this would really be a way for me to just kind of get out of my comfort zone and really have an experience unlike anything else. And I was going to school for business management. And so I felt like, Mary Kay, the skills of networking and getting to know people and doing presentations and all that stuff, I felt like that would help me in the corporate world. So when I joined, I thought, I'm just gonna get some skills from this, and I'm gonna play with it for 6 months to a year. Here I am 10 years later, and that's what's so funny about it, is how it can change, as our life unfolds.
Oh my gosh. I remember so I started like 15 years ago. And so back then I already had a whole nother career. I'd been to school, been to graduate school, and I had taken a pay cut for my job. I actually was working more as a mental health clinician with brain injury. And then I decided to become a high school counselor. So anyone who's out there working in a high school, or, you have my tremendous respect and appreciation. So when I took that job, it ended up looking like a $10,000 a year pay cut. And so I needed to fill the gap. And so unlike these guys who they knew it was a good product, and they were like, hey, if it doesn't work out, at least I can get my product at half price, because that's our awesome commission is 50%. I didn't even try the product. I just heard someone else that was doing it that I kind of barely knew. And I was like, well, if she can do it, I can do it, And I remember I opened up the box, and they said that there was, back then the starter kit was $100, and we're going to share more with you about that later and how there's even a lower priced option now. But I remember in the box, when I opened up my kit, that was the first time I ever tried the product. And I was like, oh, it's good. Okay, thank goodness, because I just needed extra money so bad. I was just looking for an opportunity, though. Isn't that funny? So anyway, this is True Confessions night. We're going to be totally real with you. Okay, so the next thing I think is fun to talk about is what could have held you back, right? And I know you guys talked about being busy. The thing that could have held me back is that if I really would have thought through that this is a sales-based business, I would have been like, ew, because I thought I don't like to sell things, you know, and I also remember not being good at selling things. Like even in Campfire Girls, we had to sell candy, wasn't good at that. You know, just really was stressed about that. And then I always had this stigma in my mind from my family because everyone had done something in healthcare and worked in hospitals and all of that. And it was kind of like nobody really did anything with business and nobody did anything with selling. And I was kind of always told that nice people don't do well in sales. Like, you know, if you're a nice person, it's not gonna work for you. And I love it that is so not true. Wouldn't you guys agree that like we can be nice and the nicer people are the ones that do excel in this particular business. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, I have to follow up with that. You were talking about this being like the tell it all night.
Right.
You know, I have to be honest. I've been in customer service my whole life. Like I started working when I was 14. I've always been in customer service. I never wanted to sell anything. I just didn't want to do it. I felt like those people were pushy. So you're right. I didn't think nice people could do it. You know, the other thing, if I'm brutally honest, is I honestly didn't think the products nor the company were for Black women. That just wasn't something that I grew up believing. And so being introduced to the product and then being able to see some of the behind the scene things and see that they specifically brought in scientists that look like me, that made sure that products were for everyone, that impressed me a lot. And then to know that the #1 Mary Kay lady in the whole entire world, Dr. Gloria Mayfield Banks, is a Black woman. I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. But those were some of my reasons why I kind of thought, this is not for me.
Wow. Yes. I'm so glad that you still gave it a try. I'm so glad. Oh my gosh.
Yes, absolutely. That is so funny. So kind of similar. You guys are going to laugh at me, but what could have held me back besides just being busy was I thought Mary Kay was for old people. And at that time, like in that season of my life, I didn't know, like my friends weren't selling things. They weren't in direct sales. And my mom was the person who had like once a month, she was hosting some sort of party at her house. Like she had all the different direct sales friends. So it was more like her age group, not my age group. And so I was just like, I don't know if I would do this, and then also who I would sell it to, because being young, I didn't think that, you know, young college women were going to be buying from me. But that has changed so much. Really, that has changed a lot in 10 years. And I feel like our demographics have changed, but that could have held me back at that time for sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then did you feel like you were sitting on a gold mine when you were with your college friends? Because they were all like, give me some stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Then I realized it was like I'm selling out of my dorm room, like getting ready to go out. I just pull out the mascara. Like who needs makeup? And every class and every semester I was meeting new people. And I did a lot with model portfolios. And so it was like on every corner there was someone to practice on, and then they fell in love with the product. And I had a whole team of college women. So yeah, it totally changed.
Sonia, do you remember having products sneaking out of your office? How people were constantly?
Yes, absolutely.
I visit you, and you had this giant inventory box, and I was like, "Oh, Sonia's selling." Yeah.
Yeah, I'd get my boxes delivered at work because I didn't want them sitting at home because I wasn't going to be there for like 12 hours. It was amazing. Like Rebecca said, it was constantly meeting new people and saying, "Here's a mascara."
Yeah,
so good.
That is so fun. Okay, so we kind of know what brought us in, and it's always fun when people say, "Well, why are you still with it?" You know, because in Mary Kay we don't have any quotas, we don't have any membership fees. You don't have to be in for a certain amount of time, and so we're just a true direct selling business. So people usually stay because they want to and because they're making money. But so there's so many reasons why we stay. I was thinking, I mean, one of the benefits to my family has been, and to myself, because I've worked this business single and married and everything in between, going through divorce and all of that, but is the free cars. So I have to just share with that. It's been a huge blessing. And everyone has asked me, do you have a pink Cadillac? And I'm like, no, but we are getting there. We are getting there. But in Mary Kay, there's all these different levels of cars. So when you're in leadership, you can earn cars every 2 years, a different car. You change it in. So I've had 7, and it's amazing to not have had a car payment for that long. And the newest one I just got still smells new. I mean, it's just so good, so much fun. So aside from that, I think the thing that has most impacted me personally is that when I was full-time Mary Kay, because, we all start selling the product, and then some people stay in and go into leadership. Some people stay for a little time. Some people pay off debt and whatever they want to do. But when I got into leadership, then it became my full-time job. And I was able to take care of my mom when she was her last year and a half of life. And I was able to help her really stay out of a nursing home. She had a lot of medical issues, and she did pass away, but that time was something that my sisters couldn't do because they, in their full-time jobs, there's no way they could have done that. But I was my own boss, So those are my big grateful things right now that I'm thinking about.
Yes. Wow. I remember that, Stacey, and you being able to stay home with your mom. That was like the coolest thing. And I remember that having a big impact on me and me thinking, I need that life. And so for me, like I said, it's been 12 years I've been with the company. And besides just that freedom and flexibility of your own schedule, I think what I've gotten out of it the most. Now, don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed the money, and Lord knows I have needed it many, many times. And it's nice to be able to just get cash on demand, not have to wait 2 weeks for a check to come. But really the confidence. People wouldn't believe it, but I am still really shy, but I was way more shy back then, a lot more reserved. And so just really the confidence that I've gained, that constant encouragement from a group of people that I've never really had before. All of those things that just kind of took me out of my shell, and I don't know, things that I would have ran from doing before. I would never be doing this like 12 years ago. I absolutely would not. So I think that's what I enjoy the most, is the person that I've become compared to the person that I was. And I have to attribute that to just the encouragement and the confidence I've grown so much in Mary Kay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're one of the most confident people I know right now. I mean, you're so humble, but when you walk in a room, you own it, and people know that they can rely on you because you're such a good person, Sonia. So
thank you.
That's so cool to hear.
Yes.
What about you?
When you said that you were shy and you're still kind of shy, I'm like, what? No, you're not, Sonia.
I can see it.
But I agree. That was what made me want to try Mary Kay, just try it just briefly, was because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and just didn't realize how much growth I really could have by being part of this. But so I love that. I love the money as well. I would say what really has had the biggest impact on me is being surrounded by positive women like you guys. And, I feel like I grew up in Mary Kay, and that has had such an impact on my life, just being surrounded by women who believe in me and saw bigger for me, thinking I was only going to do this for a small amount of time. And then I had women in Mary Kay dreaming bigger dreams for me and seeing a bigger vision for me. And we always say in Mary Kay that when we forget our own song, that our friends sing it back to us. And so many seasons of my life, I've had that from both of you. And that's the biggest thing, is the people. I would give back everything that I gained in Mary Kay if I just could only have the people, because that is part of what has made me grow. And I just love that piece of it so much. The relationships, the friendships, the sisterhood, for sure.
Yeah. And think about Mary Kay as herself. We always educate people that Mary Kay was a real person, actually. It was like Rebecca always says, it's not like Betty Crocker. There was just a made up name. She was a real person. She's up in heaven now, but she was so brilliant, wasn't she, about knowing how great women were at encouraging each other and supporting each other. Mm-hmm. And she came up with the whole business plan and the way she wanted to specifically create a company for women that would elevate women, that would give them an unlimited earning potential based on their efforts, and what they chose to do. It was really pretty brilliant. And then if you add on top of that, when she did it in the 60s, when women were not doing things like this, it's pretty cool, and she always felt like women were so good at sales because and good at relationships and good at mentoring, even better than men, she believed, because, you know, we help each other anyway, right? And that's just what we do. And in this business, it's like when you help each other, you're helping your own business grow. It's just so cool. I just could go on and on about it.
It is so cool. It's
I love it. Okay, so I was gonna ask about, let's see. You know what, was this on our list? I had some talking points, but if you guys were to talk to someone right now and say, this is why Mary Kay is booming, because a lot of people don't really know that our company is booming. Like every month since the pandemic hit, we've had a more successful month. For example, we had a more successful as a whole company in the United States, because we're in 34 countries. So when we always have to talk about what global market we're talking about, right? So, but I know for sure in the United States, like in the month of May, we had a higher May this year with all of our retail sales than we did last May. And then we thought, well, that was crazy. Like, I wonder if that's going to keep happening. And then we had a higher June than we ever had the last year. So the company is really booming right now. And I was trying to explain that to someone. What would you guys say? Why would you say this is such a good time to look into something like this?
Ooh, let me jump in. I think that it's such an opportune time for a couple reasons. One being that because we're in a pandemic, amazingly, that means that everyone needs to connect online. And guess what? You can connect with everyone online. So the people that we couldn't, for Mary Kay at least, facial in person, well, now we don't have to worry about it. We can connect with them on Zoom and YouTube and FaceTime and all these things that really we had access to, but I guess we really didn't have to think about it until we had to think about it. You know, the other thing too is there's a need. There's a need. So many people, unfortunately, have been displaced during this time, and there's just such a great need for the money. And so now is just a great time, and people aren't spending. They aren't traveling. They aren't buying big houses and new cars and spending tons of money on lunch because they're at home working. And so they have the money to take care of their skin right now. So those are the things that I think make now the perfect time.
Yeah. So true. And I'm so thankful for that. Like, I'm so thankful that this has been a way to connect, because it can be such a hard time of feeling disconnected. And I think we're connecting more, you know, now that we're virtually, because it used to be that, you know, like Stacey, I would only, you know, see you because we're not in the same state, but now we see each other weekly on Zoom meetings and things like that we weren't doing before. So that makes it so fun. So I love that. I love the virtual piece of it and how that can bring people together. Also, just thinking about like right now where we are on the calendar, what is today, November 5th, with the holidays being right around the corner, this is like the most genius time to jump in, because there's just like cash on every corner. You have your own holiday shopping to do. Everyone that you know needs to do holiday shopping, and holiday shopping is probably going to look a lot different this year, and people are, you know, storming to the stores on Black Friday and things like that. And so having the opportunity to help them and see what they need to shop for, it's perfect timing, really.
Exactly.
I agree. You guys hit everything. I mean, so I moved to Texas. I didn't even fully introduce myself. I guess none of us really did. We just jumped right in. This is what happens when girlfriends get together. But so I built a lot of my business in the Omaha area, and that's when Sonia came on to my original team, and now she's going to be having her own unit, and it's all just like we just divide and multiply all over the place. But in Mary Kay, we really honestly have no territories, and so what that means is that you can sell and build your business all over the country. You know, you can build a team if you want to. It's optional. You can sell the product to anyone. And now that we're also virtual, that is absolutely what's happening. But when I moved to Texas, I really did miss you all so much. Remember, I was like FaceTiming into your meetings because I was like, "Hi, everyone," and you hold the phone up so I could like look at everyone's faces. Remember that? And I forgot about that. And I was like, "This is so much better." I'm just so glad we learned how to do this. It has been awesome. I missed you guys so much, but then I came to another area, and now we've got a whole bunch of other consultants down here in Texas. So it's just really been a blast. It's been great. So I think that one last thing to talk about, which is kind of fun, is what are some qualities that you guys think do well in Mary Kay? Because there might be people listening or watching that, might want to hear that. And so I'm going to use it as a way to kind of affirm both of you, if that's okay, because we have some time. But I always look for people that really do have a big heart. Because remember, I told you, my philosophy is that the nice people really do finish first in Mary Kay, and both of you guys have such incredible hearts for others. And the way, Sonia, the way that you've been leading your group is just amazing to me, because there's that saying in Mary Kay. Actually, it's not a Mary Kay saying, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so, Sonia, you were always just like infusing that into your people. And I love that. And so, and then Rebecca, you were always, you have such a care for the big picture of people's lives. You want to think about, how you can serve them. What needs do they have in their life? This person really is working on this goal, but this person's working on this goal, or this customer really needs this, or this customer, and you were always so good at that, because you don't think about yourself. You put the other person first. So those would be two of my things. We can teach people anything else, right? About how to fill out a sales ticket, I have my little product table here. I was just doing a thing earlier, how to put this on, take this off. We can teach you how to do that, but we can't always teach those qualities. And so that's why you guys are special to me.
Oh, well, Stacey, you're so special to me. And you are so good at showing those skills. And I think it's from, your background of being in a school environment, but you are so good at everything that showing it and teaching it. And I love when you dig into products and get your science background and all that fun stuff. But even more than that, you are such a true connector, and you truly make everyone feel so important and remember things about people, like people that you just meet briefly, you remember and can meet them months later, and you remember that about them, and you ask them about the things that they were going through. And that is such a skill, because it takes me a lot to remember someone's name, and you remember their story, because you're such a people person. And Sonia, I know I mentioned that I couldn't believe that you said that you think that you're shy, that you thought you were shy and still feel like you're shy. I'm still not over that, because I just don't at all. Because Sonia, you are such a fun person, and I love watching how you weave this into your life, and it's just like a party in motion. You are just so skillful I know you have a crazy busy life, but you just weave it in so beautifully and do it in such a fun way. And I love your product videos and how you know what people are needing, know what they need. They need just a relaxing time. They need just something to laugh about. You are so good at bringing that to people and just making them feel so it's not stressful. You're not at any way, you mentioned that, sales being pushy. You are not that at all. You are just such a true connector to women and knowing what they need. And men, you just connect with everybody, which is so cool.
Aww, so sweet. You're gonna make me cry. So that's crazy. I promise you, you can be a shy person and be in Mary Kay. And the thing is, I do like to have fun, but I have had to train myself really to, I don't know, put out this big personality in front of everyone. And then once I go home, I am quiet as a mouse. It's crazy, but I love that Mary Kay, like Stacey said, has so many different personalities. Everyone really can truly succeed. And so what I really enjoy so much about you, Stacey, is that, oh my goodness, everything. But you are a nice person. I mean, you don't just say that. You truly are. You're the kind of person that truly finds the best in everyone, and you think the best of everyone. So there are times when maybe someone is supposed to be here at a certain time and they haven't shown up yet, and they haven't called, and the rest of us are probably like, oh my goodness, here we go, and they could have at least called. And well, maybe it's just me. And your first thought is always, oh my goodness, I hope they're okay. I wonder if something happened. And I mean, there's never this negative thought. It's always positive,
Yes.
the way that you think of others. And I just absolutely love that about you. And you're right. When you left Nebraska, I was so sad. I was so sad. But at the same time, I was so glad to have you, Rebecca, to be able to step in and to treat me as one of your own. And I think that's what I enjoy about you, is that you never treated me any different. And let's just tell the truth. You're not making money off of me. I'm not on your team. And yet and still, you would encourage me to be at the meetings. You would encourage me to bring guests. You would do the same challenges with me that you challenged your team, knowing that the only thing you were going to get from it was a good feeling. That just says a lot about you and about your character. So I love the women and the men, because we have men on our team. I love the women and the men that I've met in Mary Kay, because I truly believe no matter who you were before Mary Kay, you have to be a certain kind of person of integrity to stay in Mary Kay.
Yeah. Oh, well said, you guys. Oh my gosh, I knew this was going to go fast. We're almost out of time. I do want to, let's see. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we go? Because we should, we should probably give you some more practical information about how the business works and how to get started. So,
yes.
Rebecca, you want to do that part?
Yes. I was going to say, I bet now that there's some of you might not necessarily be brave enough to ask, but I know that there's probably some of you who are like quietly saying like, okay, so like, how would that work? What would that process look like? If I was going to just try, what would that look like? And that's what I always say. You really never know unless you try. And so you have to just give yourself that experience, that opportunity to give it a shot. And because like we mentioned, there's no quotas, there's no have tos, no contracts, you have that opportunity. But what's really amazing right now, you will not even believe this, but right now you can actually just give this business a try for $30. It's like unbelievable. So we're going to show you a little flyer that shows the different options.
Add it in right now. Did it work? Okay.
Perfect. Yep, I see it. Yes. So there's actually 3 different options. So we're all about choices in Mary Kay, and even more so right now. So we have something that's called an eStart, and that is a $30 option. It brings you into this company. It gives you that chance to just give this a try. And the eStart covers your website, so that you would have a website that you can sell products through, and then also what the system that we use to process credit cards. So $30 covers both of those things, gets you the experience, gets you that chance to try Mary Kay out. And then if you choose instead that you want to get our full kind of what's our traditional starter kit, you can choose that as well. So you could just choose that. That would be a $100 option. And that thing is like jam-packed full of stuff, resources, products worth over $300 of full-size product in there. And that's a $100 choice. Or you could also do the best of both worlds, which is combining them, and you can get the $130 choice, which is both the eStart and that traditional starter kit. So that's the only one requirement. You just choose which option is best for you, and we fill that out online. If you're getting a traditional starter kit, it comes right to you on your doorstep. It's like Christmas. And then from that point on, you get to decide what you most want to do with your business. We are here to help you every step of the way with that, but you are in control and you are in charge. And like I said, you never know if you don't try. So it might be an opportunity for you to get yourself an early Christmas present, get that starter kit.
I was just going to say, it could be a Christmas present. That is such a good idea.
Yes.
Some people look at it as a tax deduction because it's 100% tax deductible investment, right?
Absolutely.
At the end of the year.
So smart.
Awesome. Well, so you guys, we're gonna let's keep this recording up for a while, because I know we're going to have some people that are excited. And we have a drawing that if we have a certain number of views, so you could share this with friends and other people that might be interested. And honestly, we would love the feedback, wouldn't we? We can handle it. If you like the format, if you like this is so our style, because it's very conversational and just who we are. And we're very transparent. We'll answer any question you want about Mary Kay, but we do have a survey for you to fill out that once you watch this, right? So I just want to encourage you to get that special, it's like a little Google survey, and then it has about 5 questions or something like that. And oh my gosh, we just had someone join us.
Oh, yay.
I'm ready to say goodbye to you.
You can rewatch. You will be able to rewatch as soon as you get it.
And know that we appreciate you and fill out that survey because then you can have the shopping spree, which will be awesome. So any other little things? Sonia, I realized you were supposed to say that last part and I just stepped all over your toes. Is there any last parting words? Those are my parting words. Fill out the survey. Thank you again for being with us.
Yes, fill out the survey for sure. That's how you're going to be entered. And thanks again for being on or watching this as a replay.
Thank you.
Yay.
Awesome. Miss you both. We'll talk soon, okay?
Yay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.